Welcome back to Happily Ever After Storytime. Today we are reading Once Upon a Big Bad Wolf, written by Leigh Hodgkinson and Adam Ming. So, everyone knows about the big bad wolf, don't they? He's big, he's bad, and he's a wolf. He gets up to all the usual big bad wolfy stuff you expect. Dressing up as grannies, sneaking about in creepy forests, and of course, blowing down the odd house or two. Yeah, so what? Blah, blah, blah. Heard it all before. But the big bad wolf wasn't always this way. Once upon a time, he was small and sweet, but still a wolf. He made his bed neatly every morning and polished his red shoes every night. Until one day a wicked witch laughed at his shiny red shoes and turned his bed into a frog. And that made him feel angry. Now, everyone knows about wicked old witches, don't they? They're wicked, they're old, and they're witches. The witch gets up to all the usual wicked old witchy stuff you'd expect. Being grumpy to little children, boo. Swooping around on a broomstick, and putting nasty spells on everyone, that sort of thing. But the wicked old witch wasn't always that way. Once upon a time, she was young and kind, but still a witch. She sang to the birds and picked up litter, until a horrible stinky troll gobbled up the birds and dropped a rotten turnip on her nice purple shoes. And that made her feel sad. So, everyone knows about horrible stinky trolls, don't they? They're horrible, they're stinky, and they're trolls. They lurk under bridges and they try to eat goats when nobody's looking. That sort of thing. But the horrible stinky troll wasn't always that way. Once upon a time, he was polite and squeaky clean, but still a troll, until a lovely fairy godmother told him he had a bit of spinach in his teeth and his shoelaces were undone, and that made him feel upset. Well, now everyone knows about the lovely fairy godmother, don't they? She's lovely, she's a fairy, she waves a magic wand, appears in a puff of sparkling glitter, and makes dreams come true. The lovely fairy godmother was always that way. The lovely fairy godmother told the troll that she hadn't meant to upset him and was just trying to be helpful. She said sorry and asked if he would like a hug, and that made him feel wonderful. So the polite, squeaky clean troll brushed his teeth, tied his shoelaces, thanked the lovely fairy godmother for her help and said goodbye. And when the troll was all grown up, he met a kind young witch who was singing to the birds as she picked up litter. He smiled politely and picked a crisp packet up off from the ground. That made the witch feel fantastic. Then after the witch was all grown up, she met a small sweet wolf. She told the wolf that he had the shiniest shoes in the land and turned his bed into a huge brick house. That made the wolf feel lucky. And do you know what he did? He invited little pigs to share his huge brick house, and together they baked biscuits for grannies. And they all lived happily ever after, just as you might expect. The end. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share.